Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Clock, and today we're playing Ballad of the Cosplayer. Special notice, this is made for the Yowie Game Jam 2024. I was recently, I guess you could say, invited to play some games from the Game Jam from the host, Whitpop. They reached out to me and they asked if I was gonna play any, and of course as fortunate for them as it was, I already had my eye on a couple of games. So here I am, starting with Ballad of the Cosplayer. So if you see some yaoi visual novels, it's gonna be happening. Oh my god, this character customization. I did not see this coming. Yo. Okay, well, chat, I'm sorry. We're playing. It's me. Okay, he, him. What is this? Oh my god, gender bend clock. No, this has gotta be yaoi. So I'm sorry, chat, it's gotta be yaoi. So we're gonna go big manly man, little you know, not pale white. Too dark, not pale white. Eyes. No red eyes. Okay, well, we're going with the shit brown eyes. I'm full of shit, you guys know this. I know Clock's hair is kind of brown, but it's like a mix between black and brown, okay? And, I mean, all these hairstyles are so beautiful. Wow. I guess that's the closest it would be. Yeah, okay, I guess that's the closest to my hair. No cat ear attachment, I guess. Well, and nips out. Well, okay, chat. Well, let's go. YouTube? Oh, wait. You can't be a demon, silly. They're monsters. Nothing like my sweet little munchkin. But they're just so cool. I'll be a demon one day. Just you wait, mommy. Oh, haha. Remember when you wanted to be a dinosaur? And I did that, didn't I? Yeah? This phase of yours will pass just as quickly. Else I'll have to leave you on the curb like I did your father. Mom, did you have to take it to 100 that quick? What? What did Dad do? Darkness Monarch. Well, joke's on you, Mom. Look at me now, living on the street. The crowd roared with excitement as the anticipation of seeing the famed Darkness Monarch's recent cosplay was enough to make some super fans faint. The lights were blinding and pulsated with heat. A novice's makeup would have already smudged and smeared all over their costume. Oh, by the way, this is a demo. I should have mentioned that. Demo. Okay, I think this is the first chapter of the game, okay? The Clock was far from unprepared. If anything, the bulky sewing kit and backup makeup palette strapped to Clock's leg suggested an extreme paranoia, only befitting someone who made cosplay their entire life. Clock took a deep breath. Alright, I can do it, like I always have. Just go up on stage, smile, do a little spin, prove my overwhelming skill, get the prize, then go straight home and sleep off the anxiety for 4 days. Easy. Next up, we have the Darkness Monarch, a famed cosplayer here to present the audience with a new and exciting take on a retro character. Oh shit, oh god, I actually have fans? What the hell? This is like a dream to me. Crowd went wild and the pressure was rising. This is it. Those 2 months of sewing can't have been for nothing. The star of the show finally made an appearance, each movement practiced and precise. All that needed to happen now was for the curtains to rise and let the world see the glorious visage awaiting them. Wait, in this key moment, Clock was in need of a pose that'll drop jaws and have the audience lose their minds. The walk was planned, the pouty face perfected, but the pose? Clock was too busy stressing over the costume itself, he forgot to think of the pose! Oh shit, chat. There wasn't any time. The decision had to be made now. JoJo pose true! I should strike a strong, manly flex or a sensual arced back. Joke's on you. Because a sensual arced back is a JoJo pose and it's fucking manly. That was it. This competition was in the bag. Never mind, that's not exactly the pose I was going for when I said sensual manly pose, like a JoJo pose, but we can recuperate, we can save this. Huh? Huh? thick smoke suddenly engulfed the space, limiting Clock's vision. But the silhouette of horns and tails, the clashing of metal, and the enormous dragon in the sky was enough to key him into the situation. What? There's no way. This has to be a reality TV show, a prank, a mental breakdown, a dream mental breakdown. I'm crazy. It's a feudal China. I got Isekaied! Suddenly, a loud explosion broke Clock out of his thoughts as an intense ray of light burst through the battered castle walls. The light was blinding and intense. If not for the mask and built-in secret sunglasses Clock installed for the express purpose of taking pictures in the hot sun, he very likely would have been blinded then and there. No cut and no truck gun. Oh no. Just straight ass. No, I'm kidding. What's happening? Fisk, they're here. A gruff and annoyed voice broke through the air as the silhouette of a large man-like creature blocked the light radiating from the distance. Oh my god, they got my hand. Who are... Before Clock could finish his sentence, he felt a slim and warm hand on his side. A little startled, are we? No matter. With you here, this new amusement is sure to make itself scarce. There was a man. No, a woman? No. It was hard to tell. But whoever they were, they seemed friendly enough, and hot enough. Their body was slim and delicate, but they were adorned with many heavy-looking accessories. Clock had to guess, they looked like a fawn or a satyr. Your evil reign ends here, demons! Excuse me. Hey, yo! Biblically accurate hot boy? Angel? Wait, no. We don't assume. We don't want to assume. A fiery voice rang out from the wreckage as two figures slowly approached from the hole in the wall. Yo, warrior? What the hell? One seemed to radiate blinding light, like some kind of divine being. Feathered wings decorated its body, and plumage fell like dancing light. The other was human. Well, an armored girl wielding a large axe as if it were made of foam. Goddamn cosplayers. But that couldn't be the case, could it? After all, Clock knew everything about pretending to wield a heavy object, but that was far too realistic. The more Clock thought about it, the less it made sense. Behind him, whilst it was hard to see through the mask, there had to be hundreds of fully armed soldiers wielding swords and staves. Wait, let me just turn down the music. Just the tiniest bit, okay? Just the tiniest bit. It's a little loud, okay, chat? There, better. Before Clock could fully process, okay, blinding light easing from his figure. Evil, you're damn right, you crimson fart catcher. Fart catcher? Was that meant to hurt her feelings? The armored girl's eyes teared up. What? How dare you say such a hurtful thing, you evil bastard? Huh, I guess it did. I can say whatever I please, but you? It's time to go, hero. Go crawling back to that shabby city of yours. I'm not afraid of you, Slayer. I will end you here and now. Just you try. Suddenly, the fawn-like creature from earlier stepped in front of the horned man in the blink of an eye. Was it magic? Clock felt the strong urge to vomit. This was a lot to process. Now, don't be too hasty. After all, before you stands a being of true blood. The Demon King returned in the flesh, horns and all. You will never match their power. Should you wish for more casualties, then by all means, continue your mindless conquest. Ah, I see. It seems I'm caught up in some kind of poorly written video drama. Wait, I'm the Demon King? The woman looked at the winged creature and bit her lip. They seemed to exchange some words that could hardly be made out. Something is off. Something is off about this supposed Demon King. We should be careful, hero. If you say it's bad, then do not worry. No matter your path, I will support you. The armored woman nodded intensely before she swiftly turned around and yelled something back at the army behind her. This isn't the end, monsters! We'll free the realm and take vengeance on all those you have hurt! This I swear! At that, the winged creature picked her up and swiftly left. The clattering of metal on dirt was the only thing that remained of the soldiers who were once there. Chat, they literally just surrendered, or I guess retreated. They ran away, tails between their legs, just because some horny guy showed up on the scene. I'm amazing. You don't need to stroke my ego. It's already been stroked. Now, only the supposed evil bastards and Clock remained. The large, loud creature from earlier approached cautiously, watching Clock with an intense glare. His tail swung in a way that seemed annoyed. So you're the Demon King, then. He leaned forwards, his face awfully close to Clock's. You gonna kiss me? You. His hot breath brushed against Clock's face. Soft smell of pine danced around him. With how close he was, Clock could see that he looked mostly human, but with elements that made him appear draconic. His skin looked almost as if it were that of a dolphin, smooth but hard. What? On closer inspection, small delicate scales that reflected the light decorated sparsely over his body, only noticeable at certain angles. You smell like a human. His voice snapped, Clock out of his thoughts as he raised a sharpened claw to his face. If this is as real as I think it might be, this guy is some seriously bad news. I should be careful with how I respond. He's a dolphin, no wonder he's gay. Well, we can't assume yet. Yeah, God. But this is a Yaoi Game Jam game. Hey, yo. Of course I do. What's it to you? No, I don't. Giga chat answer time, chat. Of course I do. This is the time to be Giga chat. Of course I do. I'm a human. The man squinted his eyes and glared deeply at Clock. What do you mean? It would only make sense for a warrior's experienced his eye to start to smell like my prey, would I not? That was one hell of a bullshit line. I hope he fell for it. Something glimmered in the man's eyes for a moment, almost like a short burst of excitement. But as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, and all that was left was a familiar glare. Is that so? Clock's words didn't seem to change the man's impression of him, or remove an inch of hostility. He was still on edge, perhaps even more so than before. He narrowed his gaze and took a step closer, carefully examining every aspect of the cosplay. I see horns and smooth scales on your flesh, colored skin and fanged teeth. If I were blind, I'd think you were Kashtal, but I know my own blood, and you certainly are not that. Is it the nipples? Do I not have a golden nipple? Is that it? Did you peek? What are you? His words were harsh and screamed of danger. If Clock didn't say his next words wisely, who knows what this man would do? Yeah, what would you do, bro? There was also the possibility that this strange man had unknown powers, maybe even the ability to read minds. Clock felt a bead of sweat drop from the side of his head, and the horrid man's eyes seemed to dart from side to side, as if he could hear Clock's very thoughts. Wait, what if he could just hear what I'm thinking? Maybe I just shouldn't think, just in case. Speak up, lest I tear off your head and see what you are for myself. I'm a human, I guess. I'm the Demon King, obviously. That's none of your business. That's none of your business? That's none of your beeswax. Maybe it would be best to say as little as I can, unless I find myself needing to prove all my words. The man squinted his eyes as a small smile found its way onto his lips. Wait! You've got guts, at least. Unless you don't know what you're facing. Wait, wait. This has to be a death, right? No, I want to load up. Wait, let me load. Wait, let me load up. Okay, wait, I'm a human, I guess? I mean, Mom did tell me to always speak my truth and all that. This is as honest as I can get. Plus, if he can read minds, surely he'd see I'm a harmless... Hello, if you're hearing this. Without hesitation, the man thrashed forward, his sharp talon of a finger slashing my neck. A thin stream of hot, sticky blood slowly spilled forth and trickled down their collarbone. What? This was real. The horned man was going to kill him. Quickly. Clock needed to think fast. This wasn't a game anymore. I see you have no sense of humor. The best thing I can do now is try to backtrack. Mustering all their courage, Clock steeled his exterior and buried his fear. Wait, no! No! I wanted to say that! No! I want to die! I want to die! One more time. Wait, I want to die. Wait a second, chat. I want to die. This is one of those times I want to die. Save me! Player was in a frenzy, anxiety at a maximum. Why was this happening to them? Is this where they died? Uncontrollable tears fell from within the mask as Clock fell to their knees. With a little hesitation, the horned man swiftly and cleanly dug their claws into their chest. Sound was drowned out by the course and the pained beating of their heart, overwhelming their senses. And then there was silence. Nice! Game over! That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for, chat. Did you just make me a human? Woo! Yeah, 10 out of 10. Sorry, I had a little side combo with Ginger. She made Clock as a Baldur's Gate 3 character. She made me a fucking halfling. God damn it. A gnome, sorry. More Twinkie. Oh, good. I'm average height, by the way. For a Canadian, which is tall in most countries, but okay. Suddenly he was cut off. The strange fawn-like person from earlier stepped in front of Clock, lifting a single finger between themselves and the horned man. Now, that is no way to treat a distinguished guest, is it, Zayrel? Something like a small electric current sparked rapidly on the tip of the fawn's finger, causing the man named Zayrel to flinch. Zayrel? Maybe? It wasn't clear what exactly was happening, but at least Clock didn't seem to be any danger. For now. I suppose you're right. Though, clearly we should discuss this further in a place without prying eyes, shouldn't we, Nyx? His words, whilst not directly threatening, all the same indicated malicious intent. I'm so glad we came to an understanding. Now, let us depart before the smoke goes to your head, yes? Gently, Nyx wrapped their arm around Clock and held him close to their thin body. Before Clock could even dare ask what exactly was going on, he found himself somewhere else entirely. Some kind of meeting room. Did you just carry me? Mommy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Mommy? Clock felt his stomach turn as he held back vomit. Clearly teleporting didn't agree with his stomach. It never does, chat. It never does. Without warning, Clock was dropped to the ground as Nyx dusted off their hands out and let out a sigh. Ouch. So what is it you want to say exactly? Or are you just going to stand there like a daft cockatrice and burn twin holes into my chest? Ugh. Zayrel paced around the room with a heavy step as the fawn-like creature looked him down expectantly. Why? Why what? He exploded. Why what? Why did you go ahead and summon this imposter when we had everything going our way? This weakling can't... You're being a little hasty, aren't you, little dragon? Are you upset that we summoned this demon king? Or rather, are you seething because your spot as ruler has become forfeit? You know this has nothing to do with my status, you conniving mage. I would be more than willing to offer up my position to any demon qualified and powerful enough to replace me. You know this. But this thing, we don't even know what it's called, let alone how competent it is. I can't sense any magic coming off of it at all. The only thing reputable about him is his imposing appearance and impressive horns. Did you just say I look good? Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. But that is not enough to sway me. Thanks, I guess. I made it myself. Did I say that out loud? The fawns squinted their eyes slightly and looked over at Clock with an inquisitive expression. I suppose that is true. Tell us, creature. What are you? What shall we call you? I'm a Clock. Known as the Darkness Monarch. I'd rather not say. You can call me Clock. Clock, Interesting. Not the most intimidating or elegant name, but a name nonetheless. The more I hear, the less I like. Ah, but how rude of us. Here we are interrogating you, but we are yet to give out our own names. Do forgive us, Clock. Nyx smiled slyly and pointed towards the large horned man. 43 minutes late! Oh, Pog, dude, nice. Good notification. Twitch doing work. This little dragon is His Majesty Zayrel the Slayer, though he is little more than a general now that you are here. Zayrel grimaced, his tail thrashed on the ground. And I am the Archmage. Is it Archmagus or Archmagus? Magus. Archmagus. I don't know. I never know how to say this. Archmagus. I don't know. Ginger's saying she doesn't know. Archangel. Yeah, I always think of it as Archmagus. Thank you for typing the same word. Thank you, Mikey. I'm going... Sorry, I just had to beat this shit out of one of my viewers. And I'm the Archmagus of this country, known as Nyx, by a few in Maius Magus to most. You may refer to me by the latter. A small smile and puff of air escaped Zayrel's mouth as he turned to Clock. And you could call me Lord Slayer, then. Nobody calls you that. Zayrel will suffice for this one. Well, at least put Lord in front. Why do you get the formal titles and I don't? Because you don't need them. At least not anymore. Wow, you're just really rubbing it in, aren't you? And besides that, I still don't trust this Clock person. The least he can do is treat the king. Former king. Former king? Ugh, former king with respect. He clicked his teeth and let out a deep sigh. If that look of daft emptiness is anything to go by, I'd say you're rightfully confused as to what exactly is going on. I'm too tired for this, and I have to attend to my men before any of them get any bright ideas. But you, oh great esteemed Maius Magus, can surely explain the situation. Looked down at Clock and smirked. Be sure to do so really slow, so this one gets it. I can do that much at least. Hurry off now then, why don't you? Lest your children make more of a mess. Swiftly Zayrel left with a huff. The loud stomps of his feet echoed throughout the hallway for a good while before they tapered off entirely. Now only the summoned Demon King and the Magus remained. Hey, so you know I'm a human, right? Well, perhaps we should start with the basics, yes? I guess so. Zayrel was right. I am a little overwhelmed. What exactly is going on? Nyx smiled sweetly and clasped their hands together. Yes, yes. Let us start with where we are exactly. This is Runeera, the Kingdom of Demons. Ah, yes. Kingdom of Demons, of course. Runeera. Why does this name sound familiar? Exactly. You catch on fast. Nyx winked at Clock with clear sarcasm. You see, we have a tradition. Well, more of a forbidden ritual. Only masters of magic such as myself can accomplish. Every few hundred years we summon a demon king from another realm to rule over our people. We have done this for centuries, and your summoning in particular was most fortuitous. Wait, if you summon your rulers, who was that Slayer guy, Zayrel? You mentioned him being a king? Nyx smiled a devilish smile and put a finger to their lips. Ah, yes. It is only natural to be curious about that. You are his replacement, after all. You see, between the years where the previous Demon King departs and one is summoned to replace one of them, one of our own people is chosen to rule in their place. This person is typically someone of great renown, mostly chosen by the people. I see. Hey, Felicious. This is my Yowie Jesus cosplay. We're playing it for the Yowie Game Jam. Also, someone redeemed it, so... you know, but it's fitting. But the summoned Demon King is always the highest authority. So since you are here now, he is no longer needed in that position, and will step down to a role more befitting his skills. Yes, it is from, it is Alba from, Dramatical Murder. Makes sense why he was so cranky to see me. That's an interesting tradition. Great. Yeah, makes sense why he was so cranky to see me. A light chuckle escaped their lips. Yes, that is part of it, but it also doesn't help that you're an unknown. What do you mean? Nyx took a step closer and put their hands together. Well, even though you have indeed been summoned just like every other Demon King, it occurred during an extremely important and very climactic battle, you see. I'm not sure what you mean. Well, what if a certain divine being tampered with the summoning ritual and replaced our Demon King with a spy? The image of the many-winged creature from earlier flashed through Clock's mind. Well, about that. Worry not. It was I that summoned you, and so there couldn't be any issues at all. I have clearly summoned the most powerful of Demon Kings to take over that little dragon's rule, yes? They moved uncomfortably close. Clock couldn't help but feel himself swell out of anxiety. Unless the summoning was a cruel reimagining of Russian roulette, or it just summons who looks like the most intimidating intentionally, it seems very likely that this was a mistake. Nyx moved in closer and bent over so that they would be eye level to Clock. Wait, what am I, short? No! They squinted their eyes sharply as a coy smile spread across their lips. The two were so close they almost touched. Why am I so disgusted? What? Unless you are a spy, in that case we'd have to kill you. Clock felt a tingle down his spine. Zayrel was right in saying you have a very human smell about you. Why does everyone keep saying I'm stinky, man? Nyx let out a chuckle. Well, if it bothers you so much, maybe you should take a long bath. Perhaps you smell so human since you never wash, as all humans do. Yeah, that must be it. Nyx seemed satisfied and took a few steps back from Clock, relaxing their pose. Now that that's sorted, why don't I show you to your chambers then, Clock? Chambers? Why, of course. We couldn't have our new Demon King rest on the floor, could we? Follow me. Nice! Instead of teleporting Clock around, Nyx decided to instead walk briskly out the door, not even turning to see if Clock would follow. Of course he did, not only because there wasn't really anything else to do, but getting lost in a castle full of demons was probably a bad idea. You gonna bathe with him? Hell yeah, I am. Slow down. Also, I think they're a they-them, so just to let y'all know. I think Nyx is a they-them. Oh, my apologies. It appears your cute little legs aren't able to keep up to my elegant stride. I shall change this at once, my liege. Something about this egotistic fawn made Clock want to pop a small blood vessel. Is there a problem? Thank you! Nyx nodded and slowed their pace enough to be walking side by side with Clock. It was true that they had long, thin legs, so their pace was not unexpected. Damn, not thick thighs. But it's Thick Thighs Thursday, chat. Still, for them to slow down to this, I bet Zayrel has some fucking thick thighs, chat. Even more so considering the heavy cosplay Clock was wearing was rather kind of them. Wait, but aren't I meant to be their ruler? Shouldn't walking next to me be the bare minimum? Are my standards too low, or have all the medieval romance dramas been lying to me? Clock found himself lost in thought. After a mildly awkward silence, the two turned a corner and reached an obnoxiously large metal door. It appeared ancient and well used, having the wear and tear to prove it. Many large slashes and claw marks dug deep into the door, suggesting it must be massive in thickness. Thick Thigh Thursday, chat. They're hiding behind that door. Scorch marks and other strange stains were in front and center. If anything, at least the door appeared sturdy. Excuse me, why did you add in strange stains? What could possibly been... Monster come. Demon cum, chat. It's demon cum. It's demon cum stains. That's what it is. 100%. Welcome to your new humble abode. It looks pretty fucking banged up. Banged up, you say? That's a rather fun and accurate term. They laughed slightly before turning their attention back to Clock. Truth be told, this door cannot be repaired. We've tried many times, you see, but the ancient ways by which it was created have been lost to time. Please forgive its decrepit state. I can assure you, it's a door well suited for its job. Oh, okay. And if anything, there has been no recorded case of anyone managing to break in or out, for that matter. Nyx chuckled and outstretched an arm in a welcoming manner. That's good to know. On the plus side, the previous Demon King was well known to keep a journal. Perhaps his words will grant you solace. Solace. Now that's interesting. Something that might help me better understand what's going on here? Yes, please. I see. And worry not. It is forbidden for anyone to enter the true Demon King's chambers besides its owner. Your eyes will be the only one the journal has seen since its late owner. Nyx winked in a playful way. Clock nodded. So, how do I enter? Simply place your hand on the door and push. Seemed easy enough. Slowly, Clock pushed on the door. Despite its hulking and frankly ridiculous appearance, the door was rather light and moved effortlessly with a big creak. Oh, so you're no spy after all. What? Nyx gestured towards the open door and smiled. Well, there's a powerful spell on this chamber that only allows true Demon Kings to enter. We don't have a say in the matter, really. Wow. The spell really must be broken then. Don't out yourself, bro! What does it literally mean in this world? This is quite reassuring. Do please enter and take your time. It's literally me in this world, chat. I couldn't even get a stand-in to be smarter than me. Well, whilst what lies inside remains a mystery to me, I am told the room changes shape to fit its owner's desires. That sounds pretty convenient. Oh, it is. I shall leave you to it then, Demon King. When you are ready to depart, I will have someone stationed outside to attend to you. Simply leave when you are ready. Sure thing. At that, the large door closed itself behind Clock, making him jump. They didn't do that. It was as if the door knew Clock wished for it to close. Telepathy, mate, perhaps? Honestly, Clock shouldn't be surprised, what with everything that had happened today. Still, it was enough to make him sigh. Slowly, he turned back around to take in whatever the room thought Clock would like. It was... No! I can't get cozy and plant-filled? This option is not available just yet. Okay, magical and mysterious. Hey, that actually looks really fucking cool. Never mind. Why didn't they say there would be a lot of books? That's based. How do you choose to die? Firing squad, euthanasia, or electric chair? Well, I hear the electric chair is broken, so I'll take that. Thank you, Geb. Besides, the electric chair wouldn't work on me. I'm a clock. Wow, neat. It was as if the room was located in a dimension of its own. Looking out of the window, the landscape seemed to be physically possible based on what Clock had seen so far. Huh. It's smaller on the inside. I should look around. Oh, it's point and click? Collection of candles clumped together. Despite how close they are to other objects, the fire never seems to spread or burn. Pillow. Very comfortable looking pillow. Okay. A small stack of books that didn't seem to make it to the bookshelf. Huge collection of books, from books about history and how to manage a country, to books depicting questionable romantic couples. Hey, yo. Yo, guide me on how to date Zero. More candles? What is this? Wait. Outside the window is an ethereal environment. Fireflies dance among pink leaves, and a bountiful galaxy paints the sky. All of this doesn't make much sense. Why was the moon out when it was the middle of the day when Clock entered? Oh well, despite the complete disregard of everything Clock has ever known, it's a nice scene to look at. Yeah. Highly detailed hanging lantern that emits a warm, soft light. A small mysterious painting in a delicate wooden frame. The painting depicts a field at night. Okay, novels. Huge collection of books. Bed. Comfortable looking bed with many layers of sheets. Something about it makes Clock want to pass out and stay passed out for a while. Based. Bed rotting. Stop looking around and look at your journal? Yeah, probably. Wonder what mysteries lie within. If you're reading this, then you're either the next Demon King, or you're me with dementia. Hi! I'm sure you're very confused. I was too, but don't worry. I'll give some sage advice in life and whatnot. Me, smiley face. Aw. No more car. Oh yeah, but I'm Reed, a NEET who got lucky enough to be summoned and not via a truck. How nice. I would have preferred Truck-kun, actually. Anyways, so I was wearing a Mega Death Destroyer costume for a party. Suddenly I was surrounded by some, like, unreasonably hot demon guys. You know what I'm talking about. And then they started talking about how I'm their leader and all that. And I was like, cool, yeah. Until they said, I've got to kill all humans and stuff. So here I am, stressed out of my mind, being like, oh shit, if they catch me, I'm dead. So I went full sneaky and went with it. Plus, like, I don't want to kill anyone. That's so cringe and not me. Also, turns out if you just slap a few horns on and say you can change form, they'll believe you. Wild! Not real. My cosplay skills, I still have my makeup kit! Poggers, chat. Poggers. I'm trying to convince them that, like, killing isn't cool, and they're actually listening to me. We're in peace talks or something right now, and it's all going well. They're not bad, you know, the demon guys. They were pranked by some old ass in the past, and I just want revenge or something. Pretty justified, IMO, but I'm still not chill with the murder. Anyways, my advice to you, me, or whoever is reading this, is don't get caught. They take this human-hating business really seriously. Try to be like a good ruler and shit, and you'll be fine. Also, God, I hate math. Get an accountant or something. This is ass. P.S. I'm probably dead. Okay, bye. Mewing. Read again? Let's leave. Time to leave? Yeah, I think it's weird. I think that's enough for now. Well, that was enlightening. At least I'm not the only person who's been in this situation. Is that Mint? Hi, Mint! Clock slowly walked over to his new bed and sat down with an exhausted sigh. It was soft and comfortable, but was unfamiliar. What am I gonna do? I wish I was home right now. He moved his fingers gently across the bed as thoughts of the day's events filled his mind. What was Clock supposed to do? According to the previous Demon King, Clock was pretty much screwed. If it wasn't for the cosplay, he likely would have been removed from existence. Which brought up a concerning question. How was Clock going to keep this up? His spare repair and makeup kits were only there for small fixes on the move. Clock needed a supply of full-body paint. Well, they said I can change form. Hello. Hello. Hello? More like hello. I hope you're having a good one. There has to be some kind of makeup in this world, right? Clock felt himself grow anxious. Not enough to vomit, but enough to make him want to just sleep for the rest of the day. Even though that would be nice, it was probably a bad idea, so that just left Clock with some thoughts on the Demon King. They're not bad, you know. I mean, that Zayrel guy from earlier did try to kill me. And he did kill us, chat, in one ending. Clock let out another sigh. I think I'll fake it till I make it. See if that hero and angel got... Oh, thank you for telling me I went quiet. I muted my mic. Whoops. How far back was it? Was it a while or a little bit? I hope it wasn't too much. The door, gnarled as it was, felt like the last layer of protection between certain death and Clock. Alas, he couldn't stay in this room forever. Repeat from the start? You can read. Pressing a hand to the metal, Clock slowly pushed it open, a short burst of wind billowing in his face. You guys can read better than I can. Wow, she was really pretty. Outside the door stood a new face. Clock had to look up to match the eyes of an unreasonably beautiful woman. True. She wore a stern expression, and her very, very well-defined biceps were folded together in front of her. The woman resembled a succubus with her horns and tail. But Clock had never seen one that looked anything like her before. Oh my god, what stunning muscles. Muscle mommy? For a moment, a large grin found itself on her face, but as soon as it appeared, it was gone. Only a small smile remained. They are, aren't they? She turned to face Clock completely and flexed slightly. She flexed. Whoa, you must work out a lot. Something like that. Out of nowhere, Clock felt a familiar, gentle hand on his shoulder. Nyx. It appeared teleporting behind people was a pastime of theirs. Ah, good. You've already exchanged words. What's up?
What's Carla acting
It does look like Karlach, by the way. It does look like Karlach. And it's... I mean, honestly, she's very pretty. Karlach is also very pretty, but... I'm not gonna lie, she's also very, very pretty. They walked forward and gestured towards the succubus with an elegant motion. This clock is Cyrus. She is a powerful and trustworthy battle master, to whom I have entrusted your safety. Cyrus tilted her head in acknowledgement, but her expression didn't change. And you know the Demon King, yes? Of course, she said dryly. Excellent. Whilst I am sure our new Demon King is competent enough to protect themselves, they are rather new to this realm. I do think it best if you served as a guide as well as a protector. If that is what the Maius Magus wants, then it is done. Nyx nodded and turned their attention back to Clock. Whilst I intend to have you explored in person, for now, Cyrus will explain the general layout of Runeterra and answer any questions you might have. Cyrus nodded. Nyx looked over expectantly. Of course, I'm excited to see. This is pleasing to hear. I just hope it lives up to your expectations. Nyx smiled and gestures behind them. When you are satisfied, do come to the meeting chamber. We have much to discuss. Clock felt a tingle down their spine and a hint of danger. I suppose Zayrel will be there. Why, of course. A coy smile found itself on Nyx's face as Cyrus simply nodded again and turned towards Clock. I will lead you there when you are ready. At that, just as before, Nyx disappeared as if they were never there to begin with. Clock was left alone with Cyrus. Goddamn mages! Teleporting! She took a step closer and moved her hand in a fluid manner, strange glowing runic symbols appearing where she motioned. That's a number 2. Oh! What the? Excuse me? After a pop, a holographic-like image of a map appeared. Excuse me? You can't just do that! Can you? Here, a map detailing the land. Whoa, cool. The succubus looked at Clock with a raised eyebrow. It is a map. This lady is all business and no fun. Come on, look at that! A floating map! Clock leaned in to have a closer look. Where I come from, by the way, maps are usually paper. Oh my god, is this for real? A place I am sure you will visit soon. The magic tower houses the Maius Magus and all other mages. Most of our kingdom's protection comes from the tower, so it is well protected. Commons. These are all the civilian demon folk reside. They're close to the docks and magic tower to allow for the most protection and fastest escape routes at sea. Wow, that's really nice of them. Kitchen. The best location one can visit. The kitchen has everything you could ever need. Even though our supplies are thinning out, Chef has always food on the table. For that, I'm ever thankful. Demon King Chambers. As you've seen, this is where the Demon King resides. It is the only location where you alone can go. Barracks. This place where the men are trained, stationed, and healed. It's a rather busy location due to the current war effort. Finance office, where all our funds and general resources are stored. There used to be a trading post set up here as well, but unfortunately, we currently have no one to trade with. Okay. Courtyard. The main place where soldiers and workers meet and relax. It can also get quite rowdy at certain times of the day. Accountant! True, we need an accountant. Meeting chamber. This is a place I'm sure you'll be frequenting quite often. Built many years ago, the chambers have housed many important discussions concerning the future of our nation. Perhaps here you will also change the future. No, not yet. Okay, old trail. Thin road leading towards Naya Village. Dangerous to walk. Naya Village. The human village closest to Runeterra. Hundreds of years ago, we used to trade with them. But any such connection has long been severed. Only the old path remains. Excuse me? They're like a meter away! Excuse me, the humans are like literally just across a river. What? How is this peaceful? Okay, well, let's go to the meeting chamber, I'm sure. Yes. As you say. Where's the muscle mommy brothel? Excuse me, she's not a whore. Excuse me? That's very rude of you to assume. Wow, that's my bodyguard. And she is being paid handsomely. Cyrus nodded and began to leading him to the meeting chamber. Careful not to walk too fast so Clock could easily keep up. As they walked, Cloth saw many winding halls and strange paths leading to who knows where. The building felt more like a labyrinth than a castle. The pair passed by several strange-looking creatures. Some looked like slimy fish people, whilst others were ethereally beautiful. It's fascinating to see the varieties of people that lived here, and it left Clock wondering what other demon races they would encounter. Though, there was a hint of stress with each new discovery. After all, the many talons, fangs, and claws alluded to a more violent nature. Clock found himself thankful that someone as formidable looking as Cyrus was guiding him. This is why I was trying to bonk you? Why would you bonk me? I love this woman. I love everyone in this game so far. Who knows what would happen and where they would end up otherwise. Eventually, they made it down a long, wide hallway, and Clock was met with dual guards standing beside a large sliding door. This must be the meeting chamber. Girls, I want to see men! I do want to see Zayrel. That is true, actually. I do want to see Zayrel, mostly. Cyrus greeted the guards with a head tilt, and they responded in kind, opening the doors. If you would follow me, Clock. Cyrus gestured forward before leading on into the room. Before Clock could respond, a swell of heated voices interrupted them. Zayrel leaned forward and slammed his hands down onto the table in front of him. His tail thrashed on the ground behind him as he hastily scanned the faces of the rest of those present. Besides him stood Nyx, arms crossed with a clear grimace. They appeared to be arguing. We're out of supplies and we need them now! We don't have time to allocate forces elsewhere. We either die or we force them back. That's a cute notion, but there's no point in fighting to reclaim what was lost if there is nothing to return to. If we wipe them out, the danger will be gone. In a perfect world, that would be the case, but it is never that easy, clearly. Just look at your men. Zayrel grit his teeth, which is exactly why we need to aid them now. Cyrus cleared her throat before the argument could escalate further. Just 5K for the bun outfit? What? Stop plotting against me. Stop plotting against me. I'm Yowie Jesus right now. The Demon King Clock has arrived. Zayrel looked over with a glare, gnashing his teeth before relaxing his pose. Cyrus bowed and quietly left the room. Excellent timing. I'm sure a fresh pair of eyes would be most useful. Clock flinched as their eyes met Zayrel's during Nyx's interject. Whilst I appreciate the thought, I do not think this newcomer possesses the proper context to make an informed decision. Nyx smiled and turned to Zayrel, a slight sarcasm in their tone. Complain all you like. Clock here is the rightful Demon King, and thus this is now his business. How competent or not he may be is inconsequential. Zayrel groaned and looked to the side. So why don't you give him the context and nuance Clock so sorely needs? You are, after all, the most experienced of us here when it comes to understanding others. Zayrel squinted his eyes and leaned back, turning his attention over to Clock. Fine, but first I want to hear his thoughts. What do you think is more important? Using our precious time and resources to fortify our crumbling castle, or aid the men and women that fought valiantly to keep it standing? Why not both? I'll need to know more before I decide. Why not both? Nyx let out a short chuckle. Now that would be nice. Zayrel cut them off. But we only have so much time. Though soon those humans will attack again, and so we must act. This is why if we attack them first... And then what? Suffer more casualties? No, this is why we must aid them first. Zayrel took a deep breath. This is going nowhere. We need to make a decision soon at that. So what do you propose? We will follow the Demon King in full, as we always have. Tisk. Fine. It appears this is the only option for now. He spun around and walked towards Clock, his arms crossed. Then I will tell you what you need to know. Pay attention, for I will not be repeating myself. If you are to be our leader, as Nyx said, you must at least understand the basics of our plight. That would be ideal. Zayrel nodded, looking over to Clock with slightly squinted, curious eyes. We'll begin with the enemy, then. Angel. Many years ago, there were 3 races that lived in this world. Us, the demons, the scourge that call themselves humans, and lastly, the Nephilim. That must be what the winged guy earlier was. Makes sense. The Nephilim acted as living gods and exerted their power over both demons and humans, forcing a balance of sorts. Okay. The eye. For a time, everyone lived together peacefully, if you can believe it. But for some reason, all those winged narcissists left, leaving only Marielle behind. Nyx interjected. That was the man you met when you were summoned. No one knows why he remains, but he's quite annoying to deal with. Doesn't have the yaoi hands, excuse me. He's got like Dragon Man hands, leave him alone! Anyways, as you were saying, little dragon, he was probably left here on purpose. Just look at him with his weak little arms and lack of ab definition. Zayrel, are you okay? If I was a Nephilim, I certainly wouldn't want someone like that to come with me. Rude. Ugly, yeah. Well, this Mariel formed a contract with the current king of Falvey, the nation of humans, and that king has been ruling ever since. Tyrannos is his name, and he's a real wet blanket of a guy. 300 years ago, he started invading Runeera, spouting off some bullshit. I mean crap about demons being pure evil, wanting to wipe out all of humanity. Completely false accusations so they could give themselves a reason to attack us. Plus, Mariel also recently summoned a hero to fight at his side as well. She goes by the moniker Crimson Hawk, and that's nearly all we know about her. Nyx nodded and explained further. The difference between humans and demons is that we can use magic innately, cast anything we can imagine. But humans require a catalyst, magic crystals that grow abundantly in our lands. I see. Where have I heard of a situation like this before? We consume these crystals alongside meat and vegetation to sustain ourselves. So with humans usurping our lands, we face famine and weakness. Wait, that's their food supply. They have already captured over half of our territory. What little we do have has been taken over by bandits that, despite supposedly being separated from Falvey, proudly display their colors. In addition to this, there's the slave trade, trafficking, and all sorts of fucked up, upsetting things the humans are doing. It's always the humans, man. It's always the humans. Demons may be innately stronger, but we lack the manpower, resources, and the backing of an almost literal god. Seems rough. The situation sounds pretty dire. That is an understatement. Where we stand is the last major settlement we have control over. The rest have been taken over or worse, destroyed. We are on our last legs. And so that brings us to our current predicament. Clock paused, the seriousness of the situation becoming clear. Before Clock could respond, he felt something on his head slip. A shot of anxiety made its way up his spine. Shit, if I move the wrong way, my horns will fall off. Clock felt their backs stiffen and locked their head into place. Nyx lowered their eyes and took a step forward, resting their hand on Clock's head. Is that fear I smell? Worry not, cute thing. We shall discuss the topic more tomorrow when you're not as overwhelmed. After all, not everyone can step up and be a leader right away. They shot Zayrel a wink, who responded with a light smile and an eye roll. True, anyone would need some time to think it over. He took a step closer to Clock, his smile growing into a smirk. So have a good rest, Demon King. I will listen to what you have to say and follow your commands as our custom dictates. But you will not have my support until you prove yourself competent. Yeah, just kiss me already, bro. Stop. Nyx nodded and placed their hands on Clock's shoulder. It has been a long day. I shall take you back to your chambers then. Okay. Okay. In a whirl of energy, just as before, suddenly Clock found himself in front of the colossal doors to his room once again. Somehow, in the teleportation, Clock's horns didn't get loose, but that didn't mean Clock was home free just yet. Now then, get a good rest, Clock. They moved in closer, lightly sniffing Clock's shoulder. Please don't sniff me. And do have a good bath if you can. You smell awfully human. We've spoken on this before, and there's no need to be embarrassed, but... Nyx moved uncomfortably close to Clock, looking down on him with piercing eyes. Is this it? Have I been found out? You're a shapeshifter, aren't you? Eh? Yeah! Yeah! That's right! As I suspected. No wonder you are so insecure. Shapeshifters aren't rare, but some demons do feel uncomfortable around them since they can become human at will. as I'm sure you are aware. Yeah, that's what I am. Nyx took a few steps back and smiled sweetly. But worry not, for myself and others are not one to look down on shapeshifters for their extremely pungent smells, which they of course can't control. Thanks I guess? Now we're expected to shift. Must be hard that no matter how much you scrub the human stench just won't leave you. Yeah, being a shapeshifter is difficult. I mean, it's nice to have found a loophole, but damn. Worry not. Despite your smelly nature, I will tell the others of your true self, and as such you can take any form you are comfortable with. Ah, yes, if you would. Humans may be stinky, but they are comfortable to wear. God, I hope that sounded natural. How open-minded of you. Of course, Clock. As our ruler, you should do what you feel is best. Besides, you may even be able to sneak past the human gates and attack them from the inside. This might just be the blessing we needed. Wonderful. Whilst you being a shapeshifter would be known, many are not willing to rally behind a human form despite how comfortable it must be for you. Well, that does make sense. Now then, now that we are on the same page, I think it is time for me to leave you be. Nyx bowed before turning their head to their side, as if remembering something. Oh, one more thing. Nyx moved over and rested a long hand on Clock's cheek, turning his face up lightly. Hey, yo, chat. I'm in. I'm in. Bending forwards, they gave a soft and warm kiss on Clock's forehead. Something like soft sparks erupted for a moment where Nyx had kissed him. Nice. With that, I should be on my way. Before Clock could respond, Nyx had left, and once again, Clock was left alone. Okay, what was that? Slowly, Clock placed his hands on the colossal door and entered his room. While it wasn't his bedroom at home, the appearance and general vibe of the space felt quite relaxing. Get laid with the Tsundere dragon? Yes, I agree. For a moment, Clock forgot they were in another world. Only for a moment, though. This is rough. Took a deep breath and fell onto his bed. These demons may be scary, but it looks like they're not all that bad. Reed seemed to be telling the truth for the most part. Though I will need to keep this guise up. At least Nyx gave me a way to get away with not wearing a full costume every day, but still, looks like there's a lot of work ahead of me. Clock got up and slowly took off his costume. Careful not to damage any elements, he folded up as much of the costume as he could before walking over to a nearby bath to wash off the body paint. He'd been wearing it so long and it started to crumble and peel back. Ugh. Thank God Nyx gave me the shapeshifter excuse. Otherwise everyone would think I smelt bad and had a weird skin disease. You know, that's normal. Clock sighed and leaning back into the bath. Tomorrow I'm going to learn about the demons, find a way out of this, figure it out as I go. That's mostly me. No point in formulating a master plan now that I have no idea what is going on. Best to just guess as things come, and I hope I chose the right thing. Clock turned to the side, his limbs heavy with fatigue. I'll have to find a way to get more makeup eventually. At least this room is nice. Cyrus seems more relaxed compared to the others, at least. She gives me the same vibe as an office workaholic. She's not like Nyx, where I can't figure out what their deal is. Nyx is kinda hot. Cute, though. I mean, what was that kiss earlier? That had to be something, right? Was it like a demon custom? It's making my head spin. At least they seem to be on my side for now. Yeah, they're a cutie. Clock got out of the bath, and conveniently a towel was next to them, as well as a bathrobe and a set of clothes. Nipple! Ah! My nips. Huh? Nice. Guess this room is accommodating enough. Just wish it gave me more useful stuff like makeup. Oh well. After drying themselves off, Clock slipped into the robe and sat onto the bed, sinking into the many soft and warm blankets below them. Nice. Oh, that's decent clothes. And that Zayrel seemed rather hostile. I mean, makes sense. I did come in and steal his job, though it wasn't my choice. He... kinda hot. Blush. I mean, like, what is it with the demons here? How can someone as single as me deal with all these hotties? I mean, look at him. He has his abs out half the time. Just wish he wasn't so openly hostile towards me. Oh well. Though, what is it with him saying a swear and taking it back right away? Weird. Maybe I could ask about it tomorrow. Exhaustion finally overtook Clock's racing thoughts. With the anxiety of what was to come temporarily overruled, Clock began drifting off into a deep sleep. Serene and cozy, Clock had never felt such comfort before. It was quiet and caring, as if embraced by a loved one. They could stay there forever. Let all their troubles wash away. Just ignore it. It's probably nothing. My eyes want to be closed, not open. Clock jolted awake and shot upright in his bed. He heard a lot of loud commotion outside his door, somehow loud enough to break the interdimensional magic separating the room from reality. What the hell is going on? Clock stood up and glanced at his neatly folded costume. I could put this back on, but without the right makeup, it won't look right. No matter what shapeshifter bullshit excuse I come up with, I'll be called out for sure. What to do? Wait, I can just pretend that I'm pretending to be a human. Yeah. Maybe there's body paint or something somewhere, but I'll probably need to ask it around without it sounding too suspicious. Clock took in a deep breath and steadied himself. Loud banging noises intertwined with shouting and other cheers. In a way, the noise served as a warning, but Clock was ready. Alrighty, let's get to it. Slowly, Clock opened the last barrier between him and certain death. What? Oh, greetings, Demon King. Clock was met with Cyrus, a somewhat confused expression on her face. A human? I can explain, So you're a shapeshifter then? I suppose that makes sense. Yeah. I'm sorry for not telling you earlier. Safe. That is quite alright, though. Cyrus leaned in, and the closer she got, the more prominent her muscles became. Hey, yo. Clock wasn't in a life or death situation. This may have been viewed as a blessing, but Clock's anxiety only accentuated how easy it would be for Cyrus to crush him with one hand. I mean, that's kind of hot. What are you? She gave Clock a light sniff. Ah! She sniffed! Yes, you are a demon without a doubt. Thank you. I know. Clock let out a heavy breath and felt his knees grow a little weak. Maybe being here for a bit made the demon smell rub off on me. Doesn't make any sense, but I'm not complaining. Whatever caused the previous commotion before seemed to calm down as the echoing of shouts and cheers seemed to taper off. Cyrus looked at Clock calmly and returned to her regular position. Anyways, Demon King. Just Clock is fine. As you command, Clock. Returning to what I was saying before, the Magus Magus has requested that I escort you around the castle to meet the rest of the important figures you will need to be acquainted with, as well as any civilian or soldier that catches your fancy. Magus Magus. Nyx, right? Indeed, you will need to meet Lady Reen and the chef at least, and you're already acquainted with our previous ruler, Lord Slayer. You mean Zayrel? Yeah, we'll call him Zayrel now. No more Lord Slayer, okay? That is what I've been tasked to do. Alright then, lead the way! Of course. She took a step forward as the shouting from before started to pick up again. Oh, I thought they would be finished by now. What's going on? Cyrus crossed her arms as a small smile found itself onto their lips. Based on the noise and time of day, it is likely that Lady Maywina is entertaining the soldiers again. She does tend to create quite a mess in the courtyard. Lady Maywina? Yes, she is Lord Slayer's little sister, and despite her small size, she is quite ferocious. Zayrel's sister. I wonder what she looks like. Cyrus crossed her arms as a small smile found itself under their lips. Anyway, shall I take you to the kitchen first? Yeah, I want to meet this girl. What the hell? Oh, really? As you command, then. Cyrus smiled and lightly shook her head, the noise in the background alluding to whatever chaos they might soon encounter. But she seemed pleased in a way, as if she expected Clock to take no interest in the regular people of the castle. As they began to walk, Cyrus continued. This is a long demo, and also a lot of exposition and, like, world building. I'm not in a bad way. Do not be alarmed with what you'll see, Clock. You make it sound like the source of the noise is something I am to be afraid of. Nothing of the sort. Oh, she laughed. As they turned to bend, the shouting, chatter, and laughter of many became louder and louder until in the distance, Clock finally saw the source. They were in a large open courtyard with many plants and older architecture strewn about. Clearly, this place took regular beatings. Yeah, get him! Bust his nose! Shall we take a closer look? Yeah, we should. Cyrus nodded and pushed her way through the crowd, leaving a small opening Clock could squeeze through. Some demons gave them strange looks, but it seems that the fight or Cyrus's presence was enough for them not to say anything. In a way, it was as if the demons were afraid of her. It didn't take long for Cyrus to push her way to the front, and Clock was met with a full view of what everyone was losing their minds over. Demon girl is hot, and her name is Cyrus. A large blast of lighting erupted in the air as the smell of sizzling metal and hair filled the courtyard. A small girl stood brazenly on top of a soldier in full plate armor, her cute dress an insult to his steel plate. She barred cute little fangs right in his face and pushed him deep into the dirt below, exerting her overwhelming strength. Oh. Okay. What's up with... Okay, I know this is supposed to be for Yaoi Game Jam, but like, why are the girls really hot in this? And that's all? Wow, here I thought I was fighting a knight of Runeterra, but turns out they're a little girl. Isn't she a little girl? Please step on me. She smirked and jumped off of him, her eyes darting around the courtyard to find her next victim. She locked eyes with a large horned soldier and beckoned him forward, her smirk never wavering. Surely you'll have more fight in you, right? The soldier stepped forward and readied himself. The crowd went wild and Clock was left both impressed and concerned how such a fight between a literal child and adult soldiers could occur. Oh, wait, that's a child? Never mind. Clock leaned towards Cyrus. I know they said little sister, but I just assumed younger sister, okay? So, how come a child is fighting people like that? Isn't that unsafe? Cyrus lets out a small laugh. Huh. Unsafe for the soldiers, maybe. That one will grow up to be a typhoon. Is that so? The situation didn't really make much sense, but perhaps child fighters are common in this world? Not good. Is she also in the army? Heavens, no. Cyrus cut Clock off. In Runeterra, one rises in the ranks based on their own individual skill and reputation. Simply pound your superior into the ground and take his place. This is how it has always been, and how Lord Slayer became our king before you arrived. Wait, shouldn't she be in the army then if she's defeating so many men? She is still a child. Despite her desire to be useful to her brother, no matter how many warriors she obliterates, she simply will not rank up until she is of age. And even if she could, Lord Slayer would never allow her to join the fight. So she thinks fighting the army will eventually be enough to let her in early? Exactly. Lady Maywina is exceptional for her age. Unbelievably so. If it weren't for Lord Slayer's constant intervention, she would have defeated the entire army years ago. Just beat up her brother, yeah. Whoa, and at such a young age. This is just how we demons are. Lord Slayer was the same. Some of us are just born with more strength than others. Many need to train for even a drop of that raw power. Cyrus seemed to trail off for a moment before turning back to Clock. But you didn't hear any of this from me. If you wish to know more about it, you should ask Lord Slayer yourself. Of course, I'll keep that in mind. Come now, watching further is pointless and we shouldn't waste time. Okay, nodded swiftly, turned around, and walked back towards the castle interior. Nice. Cyrus led Clock down a long hallway, past many rooms and corridors, until they eventually made their way outside. Once again, Clock was reminded of the size of the castle. I wonder what secrets this place holds. As they walked, something seemed to weigh heavily on Cyrus's mind. She shot Clock a look or two, never too long to be caught. After some time, she turned her head in Clock's direction and asked a simple question. What do you intend to do? She bit down slightly on her lip and continued. As the Demon King, I mean, what sort of ruler do you intend to be? Clock thought for a moment. I intend to be just and benevolent, wise and cunning, an overwhelming force of power, someone that can be relied. Well, that's not gonna fucking happen. We don't have any powers. Wise and cunning. Yes, I'm going to trick all of you. Cyrus thought for a moment before looking down at Clock. Yes, a wise king rules with appropriate caution and planning. She looked forward again as the pair took a turn. If you do not mind my curiosity, were you a monarch or a noble where you came from originally? Nope. Why do you ask? You speak as though you have experience in the matter. I can see how you feel that way. Am I wrong? Yes, I wasn't a ruler. No, I was a ruler. No, yeah, I wasn't a ruler. There's no reason to lie. That is a surprise. Cyrus seemed satisfied with Clock's answers. Apologies for my curiosity. It is rare to speak to someone from another world. Don't apologize. I'd be curious myself. Is that so? Then do you have any questions for me? What type of demon are you? How did you become a bodyguard? What type of demon are you? Cyrus let out a chuckle. I may not look it like it, but I am a succubus. Whoa, that's a little unexpected. Unless... Don't worry, most of my kind do not look like me. They keep slim and conventional appearances to entrap as many victims as possible. You don't? I have my charms still, but battling my eyelashes and posing so my ass is perfectly angled gets tiring. Why seduce someone I wish to kill when I can instead pound their skulls into the ground with the strength of 100 men? Her words shocked for a moment, but what she said did make sense. Yeah, I mean, it's more direct that way, less of a hassle. Cyrus smiled, her fangs on full display. I am so glad we are like-minded. Before any more questions could be asked, Clock and Cyrus reached the entrance to the kitchen, the many delicious smells coming from within serving as their welcome. Well, here we are. Yeah, where's my yaoi harem, bro? Where's my homies? I'm homosexual. What? The kitchen was large, equipped with much assorted cookware and furnaces. It seemed as though the room was designed to be able to cook enough meals for an entire army, or at least a majority of the people within the castle. In the corner, working away at a hot stove, stood a tall beast of a man, towered over everything before him, his large muscles and scars suggesting a colorful history. Hey, yo! Who this? Hey, yo, man. Hey, yo! Yeah, he actually reminds me of Zoro. Yo. Hey, yo. Okay. I mean, hey, yo, dude. Hey, yo, he's looking good. Hold on. I'll be over in a minute. The man's voice was gruff and direct. In a way, he reminded Clock of Cyrus. Come, we can sit over here if you'd like. She gestured towards tall chairs stationed across from one of the many tables. Reminded Clock of the restaurants where you can watch the chef cook your food. Sure thing. Clock turned to the man cooking. He seemed to be creating a large soup of some kind in a comically large pot. He threw in what appeared to be leeks and spinach before dumping what Clock could only guess to be assorted novelty crystals into the mixture. Those must have been the magic crystals Nyx had mentioned. Yes, that should do. The man sounded pleased and looked over his work for a moment. After nodding, he turned his attention to Clock and Cyrus. Oh, a new face, is it? Looked Clock up and down without a hint of malice or unease. Perhaps Nyx's talk of shapeshifters making people uncomfortable didn't apply to everyone. Indeed, this is the Demon King, Clock. His demeanor seemed to shift. Perhaps when he cooks, he's like a different person. Cyrus smiled. Ah, Cyrus, why didn't you say so, you silly girl? This is our esteemed leader, Yes, that is correct. She turned to Clock, her posture far more relaxed than usual. This here is Chef, a renowned warrior. He doesn't get a name, his name is Chef now. Retired warrior who's in charge of feeding the entire castle. Yes, Chef. I see. Nice to meet you, Chef. He certainly looks the part. Does he? His nips are out. What about this scream, Chef? Okay. Chef grinned ear to ear. So, now that introductions are out of the way, why don't I whip you up a hearty breakfast? Can it be a smaller proportion? Yeah. You guys are low on food, right? Chef paused and nodded for a moment, thinking about what recipes would best suit Clock. Not a big eater. Not a problem. I'll make you something small and refreshing. Yeah, I mean, I just know you guys are doing not so good on food, so I figured that's the best way to go about it. Chef turned his attention to Cyrus. What about you, girlie? Same as usual? Same as usual. Chef nodded and moved back to over the many stones. The smell of exotic meats and vegetables filled his Clock's nose. Cyrus watched Chef work with intent, her expression relaxed and thoughtful. You remind me of the Magus Magus and Lord Slayer. No? What do you mean? As Chef here cooks for everyone, he learns their preferences down to a science. For example, Lord Slayer eats a mountain every morning, and the Magus Magus has never been witnessed eating anything at all. Most are too scared to say that they want directly outside of a select few. So it's nice that you're open with your preferences. You are the Demon King after all. Is Chef really that scary? Clock looked over at the joyous man. He hummed a tune as he cooked away, serious in his technique and yet as if he did not have a care in the world. Ha! Something like that. Cyrus stretched and leaned over, her eyes tracing over Clock's features. I hear while shapeshifters can change race, they can't change their body mass, right? Yeah, that's correct. I see you don't have much meat on your bones. No disrespect. If you ever wish to gain some serious muscle, you could request training from Chef. I'd like to wrestle the chef, if you know what I'm saying. Clock tilted his head. No. Sarah smiled and flexed her muscles, showing off her hard work. He's the reason I managed to gain this strength, and as our ruler, well, it's important to have a healthy body. Before Clock could reply, they were interrupted by the smell of something otherworldly. Chef placed a huge lump of meat in front of Cyrus, its skin glistening in warm golden gravy. No vegetables to be seen, but that didn't seem to bother Cyrus in the slightest. Hell yeah. Before Clock could feel even a shred of jealousy, he was met with his own meal. A square sandwich cut into thirds, seemingly filled with some kind of egg, vegetables, and a thin slab of bacon. Nice! A otherworldly BLT? It had the scent of something absolutely divine, and with Chef having cut it into small segments, Clock could eat as much as they wished. Carefully, Clock took a bite. His mouth couldn't help water on impact. Whoa! Taste was indescribable. Before they knew it, Clock had licked his entire plate clean. Chef picked up the pair's plates in a fluid motion. Cyrus must have felt the same way about her meal. That was wonderful, thank you. Chef rubbed his nose with pride as a light blush spread on his cheeks. Oh, any time. Cyrus wiped her mouth and smiled deeply. Perfect as usual. She stood up and put her hand on Chef's shoulder. You never fail me. Was that a tear streaking down her cheek? Food meant a lot more to her than Clock initially thought. Chock full with creatine and all the necessary nutrients. I love you. I know. Cyrus wiped away her glistening tear as she returned to her usual demeanor. Now then, time to meet Lady Reen, the head of finance. Clock stood up and nodded, ready to follow on. Sounds good. It was nice to meet you, Chef. Hope to taste more of your cooking soon. Chef blushed and grinned from ear to ear. Oh, of course. You're both welcome any time of day, any time you feel. Nice. With that, the two left the kitchen and made their way back down another large hallway. This castle really is a labyrinth. Clock was reminded of an old book on tactics he read once about how some places were deliberately built to be confusing so that if an enemy snuck in, they would get lost. As they walked, Clock felt a slight tingle in his body. It was as if there were small sparks dancing between his joints, making Clock feel more energetic. Is this the effect of the food? Did he feed me crystals? Clock found himself speaking his thoughts out loud. Oh, are magic crystals perhaps not common in your world? Yeah, they're pretty rare. Interesting. Well, you're likely not used to the crystal's effects then. Effects? Indeed, we demons replenish our magic quickly with the crystals, but they're so potent that when refined, they grant even humans power. If you're not used to eating them, the feeling of having your magic replenished so quickly may be shock to you. Makes sense. I recall Nick's mentioning such a thing. That isn't surprising. Before they knew it, Clock reached his next location and was met with an ornate carved door. Here we are, the finance office. Okay. Unlike the meeting chamber, the finance office didn't have any guards posted outside, which seemed rather peculiar. As if reading Clock's mind, Cyrus spoke up. This place is guarded by powerful magic, so worry not, Clock. That makes sense. Shall we enter then? Cyrus placed her hand on the door, awaiting Clock's answer. After you. Expecting some kind of flashy display when the door opened, considering it was magically protected. Couldn't help but feel a little disappointed when Cyrus opened the door and nothing happened. It's the finance office, bro. We're literally looking at the IRS for monsters and demons. Ah. Is something the matter? A cold voice rang out in the distance. Clock looked ahead to see where it came from, only to be met with a slender woman draped in all black. She sat in an elegantly crafted desk, its beauty mostly obfuscated? I can't even say the word obfuscated by various papers spilling from messy stacks hastily strewn about the desk. The woman raised a blackened eyebrow and leaned back, an air of disdain about her. She resembled a woman in mourning, or someone's hot goth girlfriend. Maybe a bit of both. Lady Reen, meet the Demon King, Clock. The woman clasped her hands together and frowned. Yes, I see, but I wasn't expecting you. Well, we're here now. With no appointment. Cyrus pressed against the desk, now towering over Reen, and hissed through her teeth. Does the Demon King require an appointment? Reen clicked her tongue and let out a short sigh, flipping through some papers on her desk. No, I suppose not. Cyrus pulled back from the desk and rolled her shoulders. For a moment it seemed like she was ready to engage in a brawl. Reen turned her attention to Clock. Well, come closer then. What is it you want? Cyrus muttered under her breath. Such disrespect. Clock nodded and walked towards Reen with a hint of caution. The closer they got to her, the more Clock noticed that Reen was covered in feathers. Her hair wasn't really hair at all, but wings. It wasn't clear what kind of demon she was, but she resembled a harpy. I was supposed to beat you? Reen tilted her head to the side and tapped her finger on the desk. Is that so? She sounded uninterested and, frankly, offended that Clock was talking to her. Cyrus spoke up. The Magus Magus has requested that Clock meet important members of... Oh, Magus Nyx has sent you. Important. Excuse me? I think we found out who she likes. A small smile found its way onto her lips. Well, in that case, I think I've got the picture. She gestured towards a seat. Do sit. I suppose Nyx expects me to explain our systems to you. Yes, it's not like a beast of a woman like Cyrus could do it effectively. She sent Cyrus a snarky look, but the succubus tilted her head and upwards and repaid her words with silence. Stand up for Cyrus, that's my homie! Well, what is wrong with this woman? What did you just say? Me? That I suppose Nyx? No, after that. Cyrus squinted her eyes as Reen grew annoyed. That it's not like a beast of a woman like Cyrus could explain our finances to you. Exactly. I don't care what your position here is, but as the Demon King, I'll not have you speak to my people like that. Apologize. Woman? Geb's a monster fucker, for real chat. Based. Cyrus's eyes widened for a moment, but she kept her composure. Reen, on the other hand, seemed disgusted. Your people, is it? Ugh, you sound just like a certain annoying lizard. Fine, I'm sorry. She's clearly sarcastic with her tone, but it was likely a good idea not to press it any further. At least Clock did what he thought was best. Now that that's sorted, I should change the topic. So, you were going to explain our finances? Reen looked on with a bored expression, resting her head in her hand. Yes, well, let's begin then. As the new official Demon King, you theoretically have access to all the funds you would ever need in your lifetime, plus some. But these funds are meant to be used for the kingdom at large. In times past, the Demon King could use the wealth of the people without restriction, which naturally led to a whole host of issues, so a system was put into place that separated the funds of the people from the Demon King's own personal stash. As such, a head of finance was put into place to ensure no wealth could be abused. She tapped her, I'm gonna abuse the wealth. She tapped her long nails on the desk, boredom written all over her face. The kinds of funds we have aren't just gold, but resources as well. Cloth, minerals, medicine, trinkets, weapons, you name it. Clock's earlier thoughts flashed quickly through his mind. How about just outright saying makeup might be a bad idea? How about pigments or tattoo ink, something of that sort? Reen raised an eyebrow. We have war paints and the like, though they are in short supply. Why the inquiry? Do you wish to shade your flesh? Something like that. There are the markings of the Kashtal, Zarel's people. But I know little about their skin staining practices. It seems to be a secret among them. If you wish to know more, I'd advise you to ask Zarel about it. She let out a snicker. Yes, ask him about his markings. I'm sure he will prove most helpful. Cyrus rolled her eyes. It is true that Zarel cares a lot for his clan's customs. If you ask with genuine interest, I'm sure he will be glad to tell you of their practices. Ignore whatever this harpy is insinuating with her tone. Reen simply shrugged before turning her attention back to Clock. Now that we've managed that tangent, Clock, hold out your hand. Hesitated and looked to Cyrus, who nodded back at them. All right. Suddenly a light bag filled with coins dropped in my palm with a light clatter. Did I just get an allowance? Oh, what's this? Reen rolled her eyes and leaned back in her chair. Pocket money, obviously. Oh, I see. Thank you. The bag was heavy, filled to the brim with glistening gold coins. It wasn't clear how much they were given, but it didn't look like a small sum. Clock slipped the bag into his side pocket. Yes, don't spend it all at once, lest you be... Sorry I'm late. I had to break up another fight with May. His eyes quickly found Clock's and he let out an annoyed sigh. Hey, yo, now you're just fully shirtless, bro? Come on, man. Come on. In front of the ladies, man. We're gonna do it right here and now? Ah, yes, the person I was expecting. Zarel ignored her words and turned to Clock. What are you doing here? The Magus Magus has requested Clock meet people of importance and be shown around. Zyrel nodded at Cyrus and relaxed his posture, wiping away what was likely someone else's blood. Yeah, that tracks. He walked over to Reen and waved his hand lightly in the air as if casting some kind of incantation before a large stack of documents manifested themselves to his hands. Ugh. Don't ugh me, this is your job. Yeah, okay. She snatched the papers from Zyrel's hands and plopped them on top of her endless pile. Lord Slayer, I have a proposal. A proposal? Cyrus glanced at Clock before turning back to Zyrel. Why don't you take Clock to the barracks? Well, it is my task to be their guide. I believe you would be better suited to introduce the soldiers. Zyrel squinted his eyes, a clear look of suspicion on his face. And why should I do that? The soldiers all respect you, my lord, myself included. Things may become complicated once they see their new ruler in the flesh without your direct support. Zyrel looked to Clock up and down and took in a sharp breath. I suppose that's true. They are a loyal sort, but I'd still be going out of my way to endorse someone I don't know can be trusted. Will you vouch for them? Yes, they seem to be a reliable sort. He said I was his people and spoke up for me. That alone is enough. For a moment, Zyrel looked at Clock with a hint of warmth. If what you say is true, then I suppose taking him won't hurt. Plus, if he went alone, he could cause a political incident. Fine then, but you stay at my side. Zyrel sneered at Clock as he turned away, ready to leave, but before he could take a step out the door, Reen's voice stopped him. Hold on, yes, right, as you say, Nyx. She held her fingers to the side of her head as if she was speaking through an earpiece. After a few moments, she lowered her hand and looked at Clock with a stern expression. It appears that the Magus Magus requests your presence, Clock. Was that a direct link? Why not speak to Clock directly? Who knows? Perhaps Nyx simply doesn't wish to talk to him. Rip. Reen snickered. Oh, but it does seem rather urgent, so whilst that whole earlier display was cute, it is ultimately pointless. Clock will need to see Nyx right away. Clock can do as they please. Nyx can wait. Cyrus turned to Clock. It's up to you. You can always see what the Magus Magus wants after going to the barracks. How? Demo end! Oh! Thank you so much for playing our demo. We'll release an extended version sometime soon, so stay tuned. I was gonna go with Zyrel, man. I was gonna go with the big boy. That's the end of the demo? Okay, not bad, not bad. A little long for a demo. Not in a bad way, just a lot of exposition. I mean, depends on where they want to go with the story. If it is more of a romance, then I would have liked to see a little bit more... What's the word? A little bit more... I don't know, like... moments, more one-on-ones, I guess. Less of exposition and world building kind of going on in this. That's kind of what this whole demo was, which isn't bad. Geb wants more booba. It's like, it's definitely leading into, like, if you're really interested in this game. Cyrus showing us around is cool, but I feel like, well, it was definitely good to get to know the characters and stuff too. So I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's amazing of a demo either, because quite honestly, it does get a little dry, right? Just learning about the world only and not having those like little moments. It was cool though. I really like the character designs. They're really good. And I like the cute, funny moments. I do think it's really funny that we're just hiding that we're a human. But somehow we are the Demon King, you know? So it's a little interesting to see how it's working out. I'd love to see more. They said there's an extended demo, so maybe I'll play that when that comes out. Obviously, the only CG we had was with Nyx. I don't know if this game had anything else. I think there is a dead end I didn't get. So play the game for yourself. Definitely check out the Yaoi Game Jam, by the way. I would heavily recommend you check it out yourself. I'm going to be playing probably a few more games from the Game Jam itself. But yeah, anyway, I will be playing more from the Game Jam. This one caught my eye because of the art and the characters. I do like them a lot. I think they're really cool, personally speaking. Yeah, anyways, so leave a rating, play the demo for yourself to see where the other dead end was, I guess. And yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. My name's Clock. If you're new to the channel, I play lots of visual novels, dating sims, and horror games as well. He wants some action. I mean, that's true. I did want, you know, Geb said it outright. I'll say it outright. You want your demo to pull someone in. You want your demo to fucking grab me by the nuts, okay? I need like a fucking, that bath scene was, you know how everyone kept telling me I was stinky? I thought for sure you were gonna put me in a bath with Zayrel or Nyx or like your choice. 100% you should have had that. 100%. 100%. If you can change the game still, which you probably can't, there should have been a bath scene. That's how you grab someone by the nuts and be like, this is what you're gonna play this game, okay? Now, that might not be the dream for this game, but, that might not be the direction this game is going, and that's completely fine. But I'm just saying, that's something that would really grab people's attention. Have a CG of it, you know? You know, people would be pretty excited for that sort of thing. Just, you know, I'll just say it outright, sex sells. So yeah, Matt, yeah, look at this guy, he's on the copium. It's just true. Music, by the way, banger. I don't know if you made it yourself, game devs, or if this is, I don't want to grab anyone's nuts. I wanted Zayrel to grab mine, okay? Look at how many people redeemed. It's true, sex sells. I'll just say it now. So adding a little bit of spice. I did like that one CG with Nyx. That was cute. But I'm just saying, in the future, you could definitely maybe in the extended demo, it could have a little bit more, you know, a little more spice, you know? Nothing wrong with that. I know it's not going to be a pure romance. Obviously, there is a story to be told here, and I like it so far. It's interesting. Nothing too crazy, obviously, but I like the Isekai. I thought it was funny. Premise is good, it's funny, it's cute, and the characters are all funny and cute as well. So, yeah, clock that like button and subscribe too. Thank you, Queen Puppy Cat. At least one person in my chat can say that. I can't even say it with a straight face, but they can. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, see you next time, YouTube. If you forgot, my name's Clock, and I hope you have a good one. Peace out. Horse clock in the comments? Only real ones know about that one. The